What's going on? It's Chris Rice Incorporated here. I just wanted to make a video today about marketing and how um, I've grown my business and, how you can also grow a business. And this applies to probably most any service industry business as well as anything else would have applicable principles involved. So, I'm gonna get right into it by plugging the merch. So here we have the Chris Rice Inc. shirt. I've got it in this color, a darker or a lighter gray, and a blue. And then here we have the Chris Rice Inc. snapback with the camo, and there's also a fitted version available. The shirts are 25 long sleeve and short, and the fitted cap is the fitted or the snapback. Those are both $30. We'll have those for release. My website should be done like early January, January 8th, January, like maybe not the first week in January, but for sure like the second week in January, we should have the website up and running. Um, and that'll be on there, and I'll make another video with links to that too, so that'll be cool. So I'll get right into this. So, you know, um, I guess we can just redo this with backstory. There's like an initial video, and I think I said I was going to do this, but I never did, right? So, 2018, I started, um, with nothing, walking down the side of the road. I had a my dad gave me his push mower. I borrowed a push mower, um, electric plug-in weed eater. Um, I think the blower was plug-in. No, the weed eater was absolute garbage. It was a battery powered weed eater, complete garbage. Some Black and Decker like homeowner model, horrible, and then a plug-in leaf blower. So that was really entertaining. And I'd go door to door and ask people, "Hey, can I cut your yard? Can we trim some trees, whatever?" Um, and I just went door to door for a while, and progressively I picked up to have a helper with me, and we would ride around on our bikes. Um, and we would get this stuff done. And I saved up enough to buy a little cheap car, rode around in that for a year and a half or so. Um, and, just I started making business cards. So obviously I was going door to door, but I didn't have any kind of business card. And so I like hand drew some business cards. Don't recommend doing this at all. But I had no money, right? So, and this was a complete waste of time. If you're starting business, don't waste your time hand drawing some business cards. Um, but that's what I did. I hand drew up business cards, I would make like 8 at a time and go do like 8 doors, and it'd take me like an hour to draw those 8 business cards. Um, And if you need business cards, give me a call because I can get business cards much cheaper than like Vistaprint unless you're buying in quantity. I can get you good deals on lower amounts. Um, because Vistaprint's like ridiculously expensive for a low card amount. And if you look on Google for business cards, don't just buy the first thing that you see if it's not seeming like a good deal, like $50 for 1,500 or something, like a decent deal like that. Don't do it. Search 2 3 companies and then go. But so, after that I developed into printing my own cards out because my mom had a printer. So I would make these garbage cards out of, it was like a thicker paper, but it was garbage. It was a nice thick paper, but it was just the worst business card ever. Um, and that's on my Instagram probably like 6 months, a year ago. If I did video editing, that's when that would happen there. Uh, but we're not there yet. But we're getting there. We'll progressively maybe start doing some editing soon. But we basically just cut and paste all videos out. I mean, no real editing on pictures either. But um, so after that point, I started giving out those cards, and what you're going to want to do is go around to businesses, go around to residential areas. It doesn't really matter how nice they are, as long as they're worth like $100,000 or more, basically in value. They might want to spend some money on some landscaping, probably, and have money to do so. 150,000. So go from there, and just talk to as many people as you can. The more people that you speak to about your business, the more relevance it's going to have in the scope. It's called pipelining jobs. So when you start pipelining jobs, you create what's like a backlog. So as of right now, for instance, my February is booked. Basically, half of February is booked. Half of January is booked right now. And within the next week or two, somebody probably will call me, be like, hey, I talked to you this time. Hey, somebody, referred you to me. I spoke to you a long time ago. And that's what's called your pipeline. You're by door knocking or doing cold calling, or creating just casual conversation with random people. Hey, this is what we do. Give us a call if you know of anybody needs anything, or if you need something. That's creating that pipeline that'll come back to fill you in, and then the remaining customers that are just getting you from other areas that I'm going to explain here in the video as well later on. So once you start establishing your pipeline, you're not going to be making any money at first. It's going to be really hard because you're going to have to invest money, and you're going to need either revenue. So this is the way it's going to work out. You either need to get some money together up front, or you need to be working enough to be able to sustain your bills for probably 12 months or more. But after that 1 year plus point, you should be making enough money by this point to be almost, if not 100% self-sufficient, but you should be sufficient by that 1 year time, just to give you kind of a ballpark idea, just because of the pipeline and jobs coming in. And maybe a little bit longer. It's taken me a year and a half, 2 years. It'll be 3 years in April. So it took me just like around a year and a half, a little bit over, to get completely self-sufficient off of starting the business that I just described. It's the same business. And we'll explain diversification also. Hopefully we'll get there as well. It's already getting a little bit long. I can only do 5 more minutes. So basically, once you get to the point where you're pipelining jobs, you're door knocking, you're talking to people, you're creating leads, you'll start making a little bit of money and be able to get some decent cards, right? And you'll have some decent enough cards to put in businesses. So like I mentioned earlier, you want to also be talking to businesses as well, especially your local businesses that go in and be like, hey, how you doing? Can I put some cards in here? I got this card holder. They're $5 on Amazon is what the ones that I use. And I put them if you go anywhere in my city, you'll probably see one of my cards, at least in my immediate area. Or around Jacksonville, there's a lot more, but my city's really big. So you start expanding this way, pipelining jobs this way, and as you do this, you'll start getting calls pipelined, and you'll still be getting jobs from directly from door knocking and things of that nature. And then at this point, you'll be buying more equipment, um, and you'll be able to fund stuff more. Like I said, if you're starting with nothing, and then once you get to that point and where I'm at now, 2+ years into business, so I spend, and then you create like a marketing budget, which is where I'm at, where okay, I'm looking at, we just spent 3 grand on marketing, right? And so the best ways to market your business are going to be as following: Houzz, Craigslist, Networks, Nextdoor, and then getting like Google reviews is going to be really crucial, and that's where we're about to hit. But we just invested in all this marketing before, and you're going to be just looking at. It's scary at first, right? Like when I first invested in this extra marketing the other day, I was scared because it was a lot of my money. But what you got to understand is that when you're spending money, you're going to make money back. The way I've calculated, basically almost every single time that I invest in a marketing or in a in every dollar that I invest in marketing, I get back tenfold or more. So it's worth it. It's almost, and it's only going to fail 10%, 20% of the time, like if it does, and it might take longer than expected to get the money back, but you're going to get the money back, and it's going to be profitable within a certain amount of percentage of failure rate. So it's worth it. And that's what I'm telling you, is that I've started, like I said, I started with nothing, right? In door knocking, pipelining. But once you get to the point to where you're self-sufficient and you're making money, then you can start investing in Craigslist and local charities, or the church or whatever that has advertising that you can utilize and take advantage of that. And when people call you, take advantage of that, because that's how, because like I did in the past 2 days, I've done almost 20 estimates, something around in that ballpark. So, just know that it's not going to be very fruitful at first. It's going to be very challenging. It may get fruitful fast for you. But like I said, with me, it took me about 1.5 years to get to where I'm making decent money. And it took me about 2 years or less to get completely self-sufficient on this business. And now we're growing, newer truck and growing equipment, of course, to now we've got a decent F-150 V8 with the enclosed trailer, second trailer, a bunch of equipment, so it's not a whole lot, but in just over 2 years, going from nothing to having a solid customer base, advertising, decent equipment, help, so you can, don't sell yourself short, is kind of the moral to this video. Just do what you think is best for you, wherever you want to be. Money isn't everything. If you don't want to have the responsibility of a business, doing, just trying to excel in your company, or getting higher education to gain more revenue is, a viable source of income for sure. But if you want to take that step into entrepreneurship, you can expect to make more money, have more responsibility, and like I explained, that's how you're going to gain more leads, by, growing a business. But I hope you enjoyed this short video. Hope to make more content coming out soon. Again, merch drop. Hopefully we'll get it on the website soon when it gets done. So stay tuned, and thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, and check out the other social media platforms.